Well, Knoxville Raceway isn't just meant for real life on Saturday nights. When they take to iRacing, it's also meant for Monday nights. It's round number 8 of the 2025 Knoxville Nights weekly racing series here on iRacing. The big boys, the 410 Sprints, are out to play here at the sprint car capital of the world. We're glad you could join us for Knoxville Nights. Not normal that this is being live streamed here, but we're with you here on the Slide Job Racing Network. We're so glad you could join us as well. Marty Sakala with you. Thanks for joining us here on your Monday night. Now, this is a series that's not normally broadcasted, and if you're new to it on Slide Job Racing Network, here's how the format breaks down here. It's like a normal dirt night that you see on Slide Job Racing Network on a Monday nights. You've got your 2-lap qualifying. You've got your 8-lap heats. This time they invert the top 6, putting the top 4 into the feature as always. And then they've got 2 stacked consies, a C main, then a B main, and then a 30-lap A main. It's round number 8 of the season. They always vary it out with the sprint cars here in Knoxville. Obviously, Knoxville known for their sprint car weekly action on Saturday nights. They'll go 410s, they'll go 360s, they'll go 305s from time to time. A lot of fun to watch, so if you're ever interested in racing along, make sure you check out their website for more info, or their Facebook page for more info, KnoxvilleNights.com. And of course, Knoxville Nights, the go-to source for analysis and commentary on racing action at Knoxville Raceway. New episodes dropping every Monday. They just put out earlier today, recapping round 7 of the Knoxville Championship Series. With Ryan Timms extending his winning streak at Knoxville. Josh Blake and Cade breaking down all that action, and also previewing the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series races for this coming weekend. So make sure you check out Knoxville Nights on all your favorite platforms. But let's focus on this, as practice session is just wrapped up, and it is Matt Grimm. That's the quickest, 14.832. 22 drivers here with us tonight. If you're watching live on the Slide Job Racing Network, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Megan checking in once again. As always, she's rooting for Dean Reynolds. One of the many throwbacks. Should mention as well, it is throwback night for Knoxville Nights of the Knoxville Raceway, and you'll see some drivers here with some throwback paint schemes. We'll talk about them throughout the night. But qualifying underway here. Again, keep in mind, top 6 drivers will invert before the start of heat races. First driver to watch on the track, the driver of the number 5, that is Stephen Metcalf. 3 minutes to qualify here. Put up your best lap. You can find your favorite driver on the bottom of the screen as well. Purple means they're on a pole lap as Metcalf catches the wall. Green means they're working on their best lap, as around goes Joseph Grandy. His first lap won't count. I want to see, though, if Metcalf's lap will count, as he scraped the wall just a little bit. It won't for right now. Let's go to Richie Gaines in the 011. Rylan Gray sets the bar, 16.127. Dean Reynolds goes second, 16.246. Richie Gaines the third with a Dick Coins throwback in that Mike Smith number 11. Makes his way off at turn number 4. Gray, quickest in Sector 1 once again, is better on lap number 2 at a 16.03. Richie Gaines goes up to second at a 16.06. Let's watch Joseph Grandy here in the number 518 catalytic recovery ride. Kyle Ritchie, quickest of all drivers in Sector 2, though. He's third quickest, but Austin Motley goes quick time. The number 37 to the top of the charts, 16.02. Fantastic lap for him. Ritchie, though, tapped the wall. I'm not sure if that'll affect him or not. I'm not sure. I think it's an invalidated lap, and it was. Let's go to Rick Main in the 187. Very good on all these tracks. We just had another driver go to the top of the charts. That's Blake Carrick, excuse me if I have that pronounced wrong. 15.90, the only 15-second lap time as of right now. Off for turn 4, a little bit of a slower lap. Let's go to Gavin Chatham, the Full Throttle Motorsports 99. Makes his way ripping the lip through turns number 3 and 4. To the checkers, his lap time a little bit slower. 20 drivers have qualified. Not sure if if we're going to have 3 more drivers take to the racetrack for time trials, but if that stands, then Blake Carrick is the quickest at a 15,900. Well, Gavin Chatham second, 16:01. Austin Motley third, 16:02. Ryland Gray fourth, 16:03. And the same for Rick Main. Overhead view of Knoxville as the low side starting to get slickened up. You saw everyone just about running the cushion throughout the corners here. So set to go here for our first heat race of the night. Let's meet the field and give you the starting lineup. One of the main members of Knoxville Nights, that's Blake Walker. He starts on pole position here for heat race number 1 at the Casey's General Store number 55. Very good pizza, by the way. And as a New Yorker, I agree. To his outside, it's Dean Reynolds, also with a throwback in the Vivarin number 79. Row number 2, it's the 712, driven by Calvin McDermott. To his outside, it's the 11 of Richie Gaines III. The third row, Ryland Gray in the 06. To his outside, Blake Carrick in the 002. And the final row, Ty Peterson in the 027 and Trevor McCoy in the 00. That's how the field looks as we get set to go for heat race number 1. Take a look at Calvin McDermott's race scheme. One of the many throwbacks on the track. We'll break down a bunch of them for you as the night goes on. Gotta mention, Dean's got a throwback, has the throwback to Dave Blaney's number 10 ride from back in the day. So set to go green here for heat race number 1. Everyone makes the show this evening from the looks of it. Winner, though, more importantly, on pole for our 30-lap feature this evening. Great to see everybody checking in. Austin checking in. Sounds like the invert bit him in the dust. As Blake Walker from Knoxville Nights fires, we're green for heat race number 1. McDermott in the second position. A little bit sideways off in turn number 2. Gray closing in, has to lift there. Reynolds up on the wall for just a moment. Hangs on to it, nearly bit the dust there. Side by side for second. Gray throws the slider in turn number 1. A 3-car smorgasbord for the second spot. McDermott trying to find his way around. Meanwhile, Dean continuing to bounce off the wall, and that puts him down to 5th. Ryland Gray's gotten away from all that dramatic action. McDermott still stuck in the 3rd spot. A lot of drivers were on the high side, but Blake Carrick wants to go a little bit higher. You're on board with the 002 as he's wing to wing into turn 1. Slide job at a TPR ride and puts his way through the 3rd as Walker pounds the wall off for turn 2. He goes up over the berm and loses the race lead. Contact from Calvin McDermott. He hits the tail tank and he falls all the way down to the leaderboard at 6th. But a big mistake for Blake Walker. That puts Ryland Gray ahead in the 06. And now Walker really sideways once again. And that car may be in trouble, especially on the exit of turn 2. So a new race leader, 3 to go in heat 1. And it's Ryland Gray ahead in the Precision Motorsports 06. Just came off the quickest lap last time by at a 16:29. Best battle, though, on the racetrack. Dean Reynolds and Richie Gaines in the race for the 3rd spot. Dean sign up once again. Big shout out to Dean as well as Full Throttle Motorsports. They're the presenting sponsor for this edition of Knoxville Nights this evening. Without that, we would not be able to be on the air tonight as Calvin McDermott taps the wall. White flag waves. Final lap here in heat 1. But it's Ryland Gray in the Precision Motorsports 06 out in front, defending with the slider line, takes the checkered flags. He's on pole for the 30-lap feature tonight. Carrick second, Reynolds third, Gaines fourth, McDermott fifth, Walker in sixth, and Ty Peterson in seventh. So that puts an end to heat race number 1. Let's go to heat 2 and give you the starting lineup. Tyler C's on the pole. He's in car number 97 to his outside. Brendan Nance, hello friends, in the 88. Row number 2, Nate Wemhoff in the number 48 to his outside. It's Hundergren, Joseph Grandy in the 518. The third row, Rick Main in the 187 to his outside. Gavin Chatham in the 99. The final row, Jack Anderson in car number 17. And the tail of the field, you've got the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Love the throwback that Nate Wemhoff's got. Bear with me if I say Wemhoff or Warnhoff. It's Wemhoff, don't worry. He's got that Slammin' Sammy Swindell throwback in the Channel Lock 1. I remember when they were common sponsors of all race cars back in the day. Nice throwback for Brendan Nance. Going back to 2002, the dude, Danny Lasowski's paint scheme. You know, funny thing about Wemhoff as well, that's not the only Sammy Swindell throwback. I've been told tonight that Jack Anderson, also with a paint job dedicated to Sammy. Stephen Metcalf checking in. Thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast, sir. I appreciate the support, absolutely. I'm looking forward to this feature later tonight. Stephen was taking some pretty good photos I heard in the chat, on the iRacing chat. Meanwhile, heat race number 2 underway in Knoxville. Seas gets away as he clears Nate Wemhoff off the corner. Tries to get the slipstream down the back chute. Looks underneath, downstairs, pulls the slider. And Nate Wemhoff from third to first takes the race lead. But Seas tries to crisscross back. Does he answer back with a slide job of his own? The answer is yes, and Tyler Seas takes the point. Wemhoff back underneath his man. Seas nearly caught the wall. Exiting turn number 2, lost a lot of ground. But now tries to cross over on Wemhoff for the race lead. Heat race number 2. They've turned Knoxville into slide job city early. Wemhoff gives Seas the lane for right now. Actually, the other way around, I should say. Seas still out in front. Another slider look on board with the 48/1. Oh boy, bumpy off for turn 4 as Wemhoff pounds the wall again. No harm, no foul. He's good, but Seas gained a lot of time. However, the Wemhoff got his foot back on the loud pedal in the center of 1 and 2. Where did Rick May come from? Contact, both of them go around. Gavin Chatham with a, oh boy, big impact there as upside down goes Wemhoff. I was about to mention Gavin Chatham may need a spare change of pants after that one. I don't know how his car did not wreck one bit. 3 laps to go in heat race number 2, and it's all Tyler Seas and the Lakota Septic number 97. A 1.7 second lead on Gavin Chatham. Quick replay look here and show you what just went down. Main looking underneath. I think just one came up, the other came down a racing move, and look how close Chatham got to being involved. Heavy on the brake there. Because of that, that may actually help him out finish second in heat race number 2. Well, this man will start second in tonight's 30-lap feature. Seas rolling his way through turns number 3 and 4. Takes the win in heat race number 2. Chatham second, Dittmer third, Nansen fourth, Rick Main fifth, Jack Anderson in 6th, Wemhoff and Grandy DNF in the 7th and 8th spots. Let's move to heat race number 3, and here is the starting lineup. Kenny Troughton on the pole in car number 25. To his outside, Corey Denson racing the 26. Row 2, Stephen Metcalf in the 707. Next to him, it's Matt Grimm in car number 91. The third row, Kyle Ritchie in at the 39. Next to him, you've got Austin Motley in at the 37. Final row this evening for Heat 3, Jarrett Neese in the 201. And to his outside, it's Ryan, I believe it's Barone, if not Barone, in the 46. If you're watching, let me know on that pronunciation. Field of 8 here in this third heat race is just about set to roll off. Bubba J checking in. Thanks for your support and looking forward to seeing how this race goes on. For those that don't me on the iRacing side of things, we normally broadcast Monday nights on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. With Monday Night Madness. We also simulcast that here on Sly Job Racing Network. We do a couple of other broadcasts from time to time, like C2C's Thursday Night Thunder. I also do some broadcasting work as well for McConey Entertainment on the producing side with Goat Locker Racing, and then we'll also do some commentary as well when needed. Real life action. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. Let's see if we can look at some of these other race cars here. Corey Denson starting second. One of the few throwbacks here to the Wild Child, Jack Haudenschild, and car number 6. Austin Motley. Nice paint job. Throwback to Cameron Dodson in car number 37. No call for Metcalf on the grid, so 7 drivers will take the green here for heat race number 3 for Knoxville Nights for the 410 sprints tonight. Oh boy, look at the run. Denson got X-Lane turn 2. Great job through the center. He takes the race lead. Grimm and Troughton go at it for the second spot. Corner advantage goes to that 91 of Matt Grimm off for 4, but it's Stenson that leads the opening circuit. Wing to wing into turn 1. Neese and Troughton battling for that third spot. Neese hugging that cushion through 1 and 2, hanging on. All the drivers as well trying to avoid those bumps throughout the corners that can lead to the car biking eventually. You don't want to get into those chocolate chips, that's for sure. Grimm tried the slider. It's Stenson hanging on to that race lead for now. Oh boy, really tight racing. This is allowing Jared Neese to close into that 201 on board with them. Drivers reaching 130 miles an hour throughout the straightaways going into the corners. Slide job from Matt Grimm takes the race lead away from Denson, but Neese the quicker car on the track. However, though, he gets into the wall and has to hang on to it. No yacht through 3 and 4. That allows, oh, big problems there for Denson. Up with the wall goes the 26. He may have a steering issue. I'm not too sure. All is good, but lost a plethora of spots. Down he went into 5th, and meanwhile, Neese slideways once again off for turn 2. Three laps to go, and now Matt Grimm is taking advantage of this out in front, but boy, oh boy, Kyle Ritchie came out of there like a bat out of hell out of nowhere. Up to that tail tank of Matt Grimm looking for the race lead. Dominating through 3 and 4 with 2 to go in Heat 3. Sends it in deep with a slide job possibly for the race lead, but he gives Grimm the lane and hangs on. Ritchie quickest last time by. Oh man, we nearly had an accident breakout in the back. I think Neese got into the back of Kenny Troughton. And that 25 machine was able to hang on. White flag waves, final lap in Heat 3. And it's 3 wide for 3rd. Denson trying to fight back off for turn 2. Meanwhile, down the back shooting to 3 and 4. Ritchie looking for one final look. They come to the checkered flag. Matt Grimm the winner. It's still 3 wide for 3rd across the line. Holy moly. Troughton, Neese, Denson. And that was some good, clean, hard racing at the same time. And that race for third at the end. But it's Matt Grimm, your Heat 3 winner. He starts third tonight in the feature. And so heats are complete. 10-minute warm-up here as the drivers getting set. There's a look. I call that the cushion cam with the camera shots I have. By the end of the feature here tonight, you see, man, look at that shot from I think that was Jack Anderson. Trying to dust the top off. When that feature's done tonight, that cushion cam will completely be covered. And so we're actually going right to post time here. 30-lap feature for Knoxville Nights. And let's give you your starting lineup. On the pole, Kyle Ritchie in car number 76. To his outside, it's Gavin Chatham in the 99. Row number 2, Dean Reynolds in the 79. Next to him, it's Matt Grimm in car 91. Row 3, Tyler Sees in the 97. To his outside, Rylan Gray in the 06. The 4th row, Ritchie gains the 3rd in the 011. To his outside, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Rounding out the top 10, Kenny Troughton in the 25. Next to Calvin McDermott in the 712. The 6th row, Brendan Nance in the 88. To his outside, Jarrett Neese in the 201. Looking at row number 7, you find Blake Walker in the 55. To his outside, starting 14th, Rick Main in the 187. The 8th row, Corey Denson in the 26. Ty Peterson in the 027. The 9th row, you've got Nate Wemhoff in the 48. To his outside, Austin Motley in the 37. Row number 10 finds Blake Carr in the 002 next to Jack Anderson in the 17. Final 2 rows tonight, Ryan Barone in the 46 next to Stephen Metcalf in the 707. And Joseph Grandy rounding out the field of the 518. No call for Trevor McCoy to grid for the feature for right now. Thanks for joining us here on the Knoxville Nights Weekly Racing Series, round 9 of the season with the drivers using the 410 sprints. And again, Knoxville Nights is the latest episode. Out today, your go-to source for analysis and commentary on the racing action at Knoxville Raceway. Recapping round 7 as Tyler Courtney edged out Corey Day in a heck of a 410 feature. Tasker Phillips extended his 360 points lead. Chase Young with the Pro Sprint win. We've got Ryan Timms on the show this week. Make sure you check that out on your favorite podcast devices, Knoxville Nights. Bill Calder checking in. He's rooting for Corey Denson this evening. And we're set to go green and shake and bake, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now? As Tony Bachhoven would say, it's showtime here in Knoxville. Wing to wing, caution waves on lap 1. And we got Ty Peterson around in the 027 and already in the pits. And we may have some extracurriculars here with Stephen Metcalf blinking in and out. Blake Carr, here he may have had some issues as well. But Ty Peterson, the man in the pits. And with the damaged top wing, his car looks like it may have gone over. Look at the replay and show you what happened in turn 2. Ooh, some contact. Ooh, up in the air went Walker and up and over went Peterson, taking a wild ride. On board with Peterson. So getting set to come back to the original start, with the exception of the drivers in the back of the pack. That was a squirrely start in the back. I was watching everyone, And they were all fanning out 3 abreast, 4 abreast at times. Thought for a moment we were going to have a 4 wide salute actually when I saw that. But lights are off. We're 1 lap to the green flag, and this will be a single file attempt. Mucky Mick checking in. Thanks for joining us here tonight. And so Kyle Ritchie to restart as the leader. Gavin Chatham second. Dean Reynolds third. Matt Grimm fourth. Tyler Season fifth. Rylan Gray round out your top 6. And we're ready to come back to the green flag once again. Take 2 in Knoxville. Time to get it on once again. Nearly 3 wide for third as Rylan Gray tried to go 2 for 1. Reynolds takes on to third, but he's got company from Matt Grimm, trying to take away the bottom step of the podium. Your race is on, though, for the lead. Gavin Chatham challenging Kyle Ritchie. It's the 39 across the line. Chatham hugging that berm in turn 1, tries to slide up the hill, but it's Metcalf hanging on. Excuse me, Ritchie hanging on. And 91 to Grimm up on the wall for just a moment. Slide job by Chatham. He's got the lead in turns 1 and 2, but Ritchie tries to fight it back. Side by side for the lead, side by side for third for just a moment. 1 car sideways. I think it was either Caesar Gaines in the 97 and 011 respectively. But it's still Ritchie back out in front. Here comes Chatham trying to take the lead back in the 99. Another slide job. Tries to avoid hitting the motocross bumps. Keeps the lead for right now. Ritchie fights back. Sends it into corner entry. Grimm with company, though, for the 3 spot. Here comes Rylan Graves. We got trouble. Ritchie Gaines is around. And the 011, no caution flag. We stay green. And he's got a lot of damage. That car crab walking the left rear toe link. Bent in that number 11. But look at this. Smorgasbord for the race lead. 4 cars under a blanket. Gavin Chatham to the point in turn 2. Oh boy, great. Thought about 3 wide there, 2 by 2. Hang on. That almost got ugly there as Grimm got sideways. It's 3 wide for the race lead for just a moment. Gray slides up in front of Ritchie, trying to take away the 2nd spot. He's got it for right now. Chatham trying to pull away. Grimm fights back. Good bite on corner exit. We'll get the advantage, though, across the line. It's Gray in the 06. 2nd spot is his for right now. Chatham now starting to work on some lap track for the first time in this race. I believe that's Metcalf in the 707, and it is. Gray, though, for the race lead, throws it in. Beautiful slider, but he bikes it through 3 and 4. He's sideways. Hang on, Rylan. What a save he made. And that puts him all the way down to the 3rd spot as Metcalf lets the front 4 drivers go past without an issue. But hang on there. Oh, no. Ritchie lost the front wing. Reynolds makes contact with him. Brandon Dittmer trying to hang on to it. Big stack up. Oh, big crash. Rick Main up in the air. He hangs on. And again, everybody kept it straight. How in the world is this happening off in turn 2? Main has to come to a stop as his race car is badly damaged. Oh my goodness. Let's all take a deep breath after that. Wow. All right, let's take a look at what happened with Rick Main. Again, this was all just a bottleneck situation. Let's rewind this for you here on iRacing and just show you how this all got started. I believe it was some drivers on Piro. Watch Ritchie in the 39. We'll have to rewind this for you. Ritchie trying to get past Rylan. Metcalf letting the leaders go, just makes contact, loses the front wing. Reynolds hits him. Dittmer lifting, hangs on. I don't think he got damage in that. Then watch Rick Main, the 187. He gets sideways. Up in the air he goes alongside the 712 of McDermott. Blake Carrick catching a piece of it after he gained a boatload of spots to begin this one. You see the right front is damaged, and Joseph Grandy actually caught a piece of that as well. I don't blame Main for pulling it to a stop so he avoids severely damaging the race car, but that forces the L to come out as we're a third of the way through. So Gavin Chatham, the race lead, as we get set to come back to the green flag. Matt Grimm with a Doug Wolfgang throwback running in the second spot. Rylan Gray scored third. Dean Reynolds fourth. Jack Anderson rounds out the top five. Again, big shout to Full Throttle Motorsports. They got a car leading right now and a car in the fourth spot as they're presenting the spots, as they're the presenting sponsor for tonight's broadcast. As we're back to green, 11 down, 19 laps to go. Chatham trying to hold serve here, but Grimm, good corner exit, but Rylan Gray better off in turn two on the baby bottom. Slide job here through turns number 3 and 4. Gray trying to move up to second. Can he get it at the line? No. It's Grimm by about a front wing. Grimm tries the crisscross here off at turn 2. Clears him immediately. But man, Matt Grimm saw that coming pretty good off at turn 4. That time I think it may have been Gray across the line with the advantage. Reynolds fourth and Brandon Dittmer. And a car that I don't believe he decided not to qualify, or a car that started for the back in his heat race, whichever way it was, currently scored in fifth. Great run for him with a 4:10 sprint at a track that he calls his home every August for the Nationals, just like this man, Dean Reynolds. In fact, a track that many of the drivers call home in August. One driver like Blake Walker calls her home every Saturday during the summer. Gray up to the wall for just a moment. Just trying to learn his lines and explore where his car is better at possibly than Gavin Chatham. He's diving through 3 and 4, and he was matching the race pace of Gavin Chatham in the long run. We'll see if that's the case this time as we're past the halfway mark. Biggest mover on track right now, the Sammy Swindell throwback, Jack Anderson from 20th spot. He is up to 6th right now at the moment, but he caught the berm there in turn 4. We'll see if he gains some speed through 1 and 2 without biking it. And he came close to doing it that time, and that high side is just not the place to be. Here comes Speedy fighting back. The Spider Monkey Dittmer up to 5th for the bottom step of the podium. Dean Reynolds challenging Matt Grimm in that 91. It's Dave Blaney versus Doug Wolfgang battling for the 3rd spot. Oh, trouble for Gray, the 06. Something happened to him. That's put him all the way down to the 7th position. Let's get a look at it and show you what happened. Oh, I'm gonna have to rewind this for you, as I think Gray caught the wall or biked it in turn 2. Oh yeah, he did bike it. Look how hilly those motocross bumps are. Look at that. You can just see the right front suspension freaking out, and that's put him all the way down to 6th in the running order with 10 laps to go. This is now turned into a race for the 2nd spot. Dino trying to grab it away from Matt Grimm and making it FTM 1-2 right now. They got to deal with Stephen Metcalf though once again. Grimm getting held up from him. Oh, that got close. But now Grimm has to deal with those bumps. Dean Reynolds across the line, second his hands, then looking great. Threading the needle. Oh, big bike in turn 1. He had to catch it. Good save for the driver of the 06. I don't know how that car did not flip one bit. But Rylan Gray is driving like a bat possessed right now, as he wants to get back up that leaderboard at a car that, without question, is very fast tonight with 7 to go. But when his car is up on the high side, it's just angry. Jack Anderson now through to 4th with 6 laps remaining. But still, oh, now it's Anderson's turn to hang on. Gray moves up to the 4th position. We still watch the race for 2nd. While Gavin Chatham has checked out. 4.3 seconds the lead on this race for 2nd as they start to work on some lap traffic. Believe that's Carrick in the 002 it is. Grimm has Reynolds clear, but look at Gray fighting back for third. If he can make his way back up to second at the end, it will be a success. Oh, that right rear caught it badly. Around the outside of Reynolds, he takes away third. Goes 2 for 1 down the back chute. Rylan Gray's up to second. He wants a yellow flag badly, but he needs it within the next 2 laps. There's 3 laps to go. And the battle for third still breaks out here between Grimm and Reynolds. Around the outside goes the 91. Try to pull up to the wing of the 06. Couldn't work that time. Oh, gang on Rylan. 2 sticks in the air, though. 2 laps to go as we watch this race for second. This one far from over, and a mayhem for the 91. Graham end over end in turn 2. Caution flag waves. Ah, that is a heartbreak for Matt Grimm. And the other man saying UGH, that is Gavin Chatham. 4.2 second lead is evaporated. And this man is back in it with a chance to win it. Oh, baby. A bumpy end for Matt Grimm. Literally. Here's the replay. There we go. Give him credit for the landing at least. He did a couple of kick flips in the, not really a kick flips, but a couple of sidewinders is what looks like on board. That right rear just too much, and the weight just shifted to the entire right side of the car. Nothing he could do anymore. Alrighty. A green-white checkered to determine things here in Knoxville. First of 3. That has been a fun one so far tonight. Either going to be Gavin Chatham in the Full Throttle Motorsports 99 or Rylan Gray in the Precision Motorsports 06. Who is it going to be and how is it going to be done? If we get a yellow before we go to white, we'll try it again. If we go to white, the next flag will be the checkered. No more yellows. Set for the restart here. They make their way through 3 and 4. Barney's got the green flag in hand, a green-white checkered. Chatham waiting to fire. There he goes. We're back to green. Not the best restart you want if you're Rylan Gray. Dean Reynolds through. The second spot is his. Good race for the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Brandon Dittmer and Jared Spelling there. But Gray still stuck behind those motocross hills. Reynolds wants the 2nd spot. White flag waves. 1 lap to go. And it's Gavin Chatham in the Full Throttle Motorsports. Number 99 now in front. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. He's dominated this one. Had a 4.2 second lead and had to survive a late race restart. Gavin Chatham wins at Knoxville. What a race for second at the end. Gray second, Reynolds third, Nice 4th, Dittmer 5th. And Jack Anderson 6th, your biggest mover, up 14 spots. But in the end, on FTM night, Gavin Chatham takes the win here at the Knoxville Raceway. And he'll get to park it in virtual, I believe, what is it, Casey's victory lane as well? He's going on the virtual scales just to make sure he meets weight. I love it. And for those that love the action, for those that love the broadcast, we broadcast every Monday night. And I do work in real life, too, on the sprint car side, for those that don't know me. The announcer for the CRSA 305 sprint cars in New York. So make sure you check us out. We'll actually be live Friday night on Flow Racing at Utica Rome Speedway. But I also do some action on Dirt Vision from time to time when we run with the undercard to Super Dirt Car Series and run on at Land of Legends Saturday night. So make sure you check us out for some of the action. So Top 3 getting to park in victory lane. And we'll talk with them in just a moment. Here's a look at the race results. Here is Chatham wins by 1.2 seconds. 13 drivers finish on the lead lap. Without question, the heartbreak of the night, Matt Grimm finishing 12th, who looked very good at a podium spot in the end. There's the rest of the field and how they shaked up. So we've got your top 3. We're going to talk with them right now. Let's start things off here with the man that actually set this broadcasting deal up, my man Dean Reynolds. Hung on there to third at the end. How was this race car tonight? Oh, hang on.
So, but that's a lot of fun. Anytime Gavin Chatham, I mean, you know how good he is, Marty, with Coast to Coast and how much he wins. And then Rylan Gray has made it, he made it in the pros a couple of the races this year. So the finish behind those two guys, I'll take it. This is my best finish in the league. I think 6th was the best finish I had up until then. So to do it and get it televised, and that's cool. But what a great race. I mean, up front, they were 4 wide for the lead up front. I'm sitting there talking to Dimmer. I go, I got the best seat in the house.
That was insane with how they were racing. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties for those watching at home. We got that fixed. But you're not used to these 410s often when you're running a race at Knoxville. Normally you're used to these, either a 360 sprint or a modified. How tough was it powering on corner X? I guess I'll ask you that next.
It wasn't bad because like I said, I detune my motor down to a lot more than a lot of other people do, and that helps me. And especially, with Coast to Coast, you run the 360s there, and I take a lot of gear out because it's 35 laps, so I figured I'll detune the motor on this to save the tires. And I never really felt the tires going. I don't know if they were going on that last restart. That's why they caught up on me, or I just didn't run hard enough. I saw Rylan go up top, and I was getting him coming off, and then or going in, and then. He was getting me coming off, so I thought I was doing okay, and then, but those guys closed in on me. But I've done some 410 stuff now. I ran that no limit deal there that Narc had, which was a lot of fun. But that was open set. So open sets, though, the cars really grip. Fixed set, you got to finesse, and you know me, Marty. I don't know how the hell to finesse. So, but I did it for 30 laps a year, so a lot of fun, and doing the throwbacks, that was awesome.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Well, I got to thank Blake for doing these Knoxville Nights deal. It's pretty cool. I usually try to run these in between the 358s and the Renegades and, try to sneak this race in. I don't know if you notice at Renegade, sometimes I show up for the feature only, and that's because I'm running this deal. But it's really cool to race like against Jack Anderson and some really Knoxville racers. And that's kind of nice. And he's put together a good deal here. So a lot of fun. Got to thank him for putting on the league. Marty, thanks for you for coming in at the last minute. I said, you know what, with this throwback night, I said, I'd like to see if we can get this televised. And, we did it, and that was a lot of fun. So I got to thank you. And hopefully I sent the link to Megan and my dad, and hopefully they're watching. And they're watching. Got to see me do a little got to see me do a little 410 sprint car racing. So congratulations to Gavin, though. I mean, he's good. I think he's pro material, but he just doesn't have time to do a lot of this. But we just saw how good he is, and congratulations to Rylan, and doing a great job up top there. So a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for signing this up. This was a fun race to watch, and you made Dave Blaney proud. Well done tonight.
Yeah, I had 5 or 6 throwbacks. I said, you know what, this is one of my favorites, and I thought this would show up good at night too. And he's run good here at Knoxville with that car, so I said, let's go with Dave.
It's a heck of a scheme. Well done.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, that's Dean Reynolds, our third-place finisher. Unfortunately, we don't have Rylan Gray with us, but we do have your race winner this evening, Gavin Chatham, in car number 99. Man, we may have to check your engine after the race because, man, you were just gone throughout the night.
Thanks, Marty. It's good to be back in victory lane. It feels good to. I was hoping for at least a podium tonight. I haven't raced in a while, and it felt good to get back in the car and to awfully start off with a win, which is awesome. And especially Knoxville Nights debut here and picking up the win on the first night was definitely awesome. But the car felt really good. I just Rylan, he threw a slider on me there, and he got pretty high up, and I think he might have gotten the wall. I'm not really sure, but
Yep, it happened.
Okay, and I figured that the top was getting rough, so I figured it was time to switch to the bottom. And man, the car, it's hard to hit. I mean, you got to hit it just right every lap, and to be smooth and fast down there and get that grip. But when I hit it right, it felt really good. And then, of course, a couple times I missed it as well. But I was just praying so much coming to Dream 4 with 2 to go, not to get a caution there. And of course, it had to come out, and I knew I had to get a great restart on Rylan and Dean and those guys because they're not going to slouch, and they're not going to just let me walk away with the win there. So we got a great restart, and just stuck with what I was doing, and it worked out, and we were able to pull away from them.
I'll tell you what, Gray was really fast tonight as well. He made his way up to second after he had that missed slide job. What were your thoughts when the yellow came out with 2 to go?
I just knew I had to hit my marks. I knew I had to get a great restart. Make sure I didn't spin the tires in the slick, and just get down to the grip as fast as I could, and just make sure I got a good restart. And once it's so hard with 2-lap shootout there to stay with the leader, and then the leader definitely has an advantage for sure, and it's definitely tough to time it and stay with the leader. So I knew as long as I got a good restart, I felt okay. Right before that, the last couple of laps, though, I had it in the back of my mind. I kind of started switching my line a little bit just to see if there's anything else out there in case there was a caution. It's like I couldn't see where those guys were running or anything like that. So I was just committed to the bottom. So I was afraid that if we did get that caution, the bottom wasn't going to be it, and someone found something was going to pass me. But no, I just stuck to my guns and got a great restart, and just stuck to the bottom. I hit 2 pretty good laps there. I think the one I messed up a little bit, and I thought it was gonna cost me there, but it stuck on the bottom, and we're just able to pull away.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I just want to thank you, Marty, for doing an awesome job with the broadcast as always. I want to thank Knoxville Knights putting on this awesome league. It's fun to be a part of it. I finally got a chance to come out and race, so appreciate to get those guys and all the admins and sponsors and everybody that makes this league possible. I want to thank them. I just want to thank all sponsors, Full Throttle Motorsports, FTM, and thanks for sponsoring the race tonight and let it be broadcasted. Full Throttle Motorsports, awesome teammates over there, and I can't give those guys enough credit for helping me get better in the modifieds and late models. But shout out to those guys and FTM. Gosh, it's been such a long time. Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design. I think that's everybody. I want to thank all the sponsors, all the help. I hope the fans watching the races tonight, I hope they enjoyed the show. I hope we put on a good race for y'all. And I just want to thank my fans as well for taking the time to always watch the races.
Yeah, hearing that was a lot of fun watching, that's for sure. So, congratulations on the win. Well done tonight. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Marty. Always a pleasure talking to you, and we'll see you around.
Absolutely. Gavin Chatham, your race winner. So, with that will do it for us, and we will bid you adieu. It's been a fun throwback night of racing here at the Knoxville Raceway for sure. So, that will do it for us. Special shout out once again goes to, special shout out to Full Throttle Motorsports for being the presenting sponsor of this broadcast. Not just the team here on Knoxville Lights, but also a key team in iRacing. You will likely find them everywhere. Normally it's a league if they're in a league throughout the Northeast, chances are likely they are there. And a reminder, make sure you check out the latest edition of Knoxville Nights. Ryan Timms joining the podcast as Josh Blake and Cade talking about his winning streak that he had, and also recapping round 7 of the Knoxville Championship Series from 410s to 360s to the Pro Sprint. So that will do it for us. Special thanks to them for having me come on here with nothing to do on this Monday night. Till then, I'm Murray Scala. It's been a Slide Job Racing Network production as we congratulate Gavin Chatham, your race winner here for the 410 sprints at the Knoxville Raceway. Thanks for joining us, everyone. So long.